Welcome to the Marketing God Podcast, where we provide insights and knowledge to assist you in reaching and engaging with more people. Together, as we apply marketing insights to your good work, we hope to help more people know you, turn to you, and ultimately become loyal to God. This is week number 1, and the week's topic is getting started with foundational concepts. Today, we are discussing focus on mission, and this works with truth number 16 in the book Marketing God. Introducing your marketing strategist, author, and guide on this journey, Donna A. Heckler.
Today's topic is focus on mission, and this comes from truth 16 in the book Marketing God. The title of that truth is Focus on mission is more valuable than focus on funding. On one level, we all know that focus on mission is the most critical issue, don't we? And yet, so often, we chase the dollars, we chase the funding. We tell ourselves that the funding is what will allow us to continue to work on our mission, so it has to be a priority. There is no doubt that funding is critical, but our mission is why we are here. That is what truly matters. Let us turn to the Bible verse that we use in the book. The verse is Matthew 13:23. It reads like this: "As for what was sown on good soil, this is he who hears the word and understands it. He indeed bears fruit and yields, in one case 100-fold, in another 60, and in another 30. The mission of our parish or our ministry or organization is what we are sowing. Matthew's message of sowing a seed in rich soil rings especially true here. If you stay focused on what you know and do well, you are able to do more and more, bearing so much more fruit. And that is what we'd like to explore in a little bit more detail today. This is such a tricky topic for us to explore. We all agree that mission is critical. It's why we have the ministries that we have. It's why our parishes exist. Yet, while we know that, how many times do our efforts focus on funding? From managing our budgets or looking at the accounting or developing a fundraising effort or a capital campaign, so much of our daily work of our organization seems to focus on funding. And as we've said, to be sure, funding is important. It's because of funding that we are able to pay our staff, provide our services, keep the doors of the parish open. So this is not to say that funding is bad, but rather to say that too often funding can take priority over mission. And that, my friends, is when we get into trouble. Have you seen or heard about the series called The Chosen? It's a beautiful depiction of the life of Christ and his 12 disciples. It's not produced by a Catholic, so there is some conversation regarding the series as it relates to Catholicism. But that's not the point here. When the series was developed, there was naturally a need for money. In the beginning, there were a lot of funding questions and funding asks, and in fact, there was consideration of charging for the series. However, the producer decided to provide the series for free. And the producer basically asked that if anybody wanted to pay it forward, to go ahead and do that. He acknowledged that this was an enormous risk. They didn't know what the result was going to be. They did not know where the funds were going to come from. Yet, they were committed to the mission, committed to the project, and committed to producing this series. What's the result? They have had over 100 million people view the series, and they have received outstanding levels of funding to the tune of $10 million just in donations. And with all of that, they're preparing to launch season 3. And yes, it will still be free. What does it look like for you to truly focus on mission? Are you able to be that bold, that trusting that by living your mission, the funding would follow? Separately, to focus on mission, would that require you to change any of the things you do, the services you offer? I was speaking with a not-for-profit, and they shared with me a story. Someone in their town had been willing to donate several $100,000 a year for a number of years for a program that was near and dear to the funder's heart. This not-for-profit said yes. They felt they could take it on and the money would be so helpful to them. 10 years later, they're talking to me and they're saying that they realize the program is taking way too many man-hours. It was costing them more than they were receiving. And importantly, they said with a sigh, we don't think it actually really fits with our mission. How could this have happened? They wondered aloud with me. To be honest, I wasn't completely surprised by the story. The allure of dollars to support our ministries and our organizations may cause us to make decisions that are not in complete alignment with our mission. It is really difficult to ensure that everything is tied to mission, especially when the world seems to run on money, money, money. But as in the Bible verse, saying yes to something outside of mission may cause you to plant in rocky soil, not good and rich soil. When that happens, you have a hard time bearing great fruit for your ministry. Mission creep is a real thing, especially for those of us trying to work in God's vineyard. If we see a challenge or we see a need, we are called to serve and we are inclined to help. But I would offer, we are not called to do it all. We are called to do very specific things, and your mission helps to identify those items. So how do you go about assessing this? I suggest that you start by understanding your mission. Have it written out clearly for everyone to see and read. Spend some time with your teams looking at each program that you have, each activity in the light of your mission. How are your programs or activities supporting the mission? Some activities and programs are going to be clearly aligned with your mission, and don't worry about those. Those have been planted in good soil. However, if you identify several that are not aligned with your mission, have a clear conversation about those and ask yourself, are you pursuing them because they can lead to assisting your mission? Or are you pursuing them for the funding they may provide? My advice, stay true to your mission. When you focus on your mission, you are sowing seeds into good soil, and the funding will come, and indeed, it will bear much fruit. As you reflect on today's podcast, ask yourself the following questions. Are there any things that you do that chase the funding instead of the mission? What would it look like to course correct and eliminate or change those activities to be mission focused? And that's it for today, my friends. I look forward to talking with you next time.
Thank you for being here. We are so glad you listened in today. We invite you to join the Marketing God Facebook group, where we share additional tools, insights, and ideas with each other. Are you looking for even more insights? You can purchase the acclaimed book, Marketing God, online at your favorite Catholic bookstore or for larger quantities through publisher OSV.